What are some of the things that you love about your city? What things do you react to? What do you observe that makes you love it? Does it meet your practical needs? Does it contribute to your sense of community? Are there great places for activities? Great places to pause and gather your thoughts? Is it beautiful? Or even more personally, is it a place that you can be your best self? I'm asking because I think about this stuff all the time. As a human being and as an architect, I want to live in a great place. A place where I can happily exist, where I can interact, where I can get on about my life. I'm interested in the discussion about the practical things that lay underneath, that help to make a place great, that ideal place that we have in mind. But it might not be so obvious. What are these practical things? I think it's good to explore how design allows all of the complications to come together and to make it seem natural and effortless. We should try and find a way that allows for the buildings and streets and the culture of the place and its people to make something that can be useful. Or put it this way, from an architect's point of view, what are the practical and poetic actions that can take place to make this a special place? Let's look at the most basic outdoor elements of cities. These are all the streets and plazas and parks and passageways that anyone can walk through, play a sport, have a picnic, or drive a car through, or just be in. These are places we inhabit, the places that provide us shelter, where we live, where we work, and all of the third places we gather together in and make a community. Unfortunately, there's another outside space category. The spaces like forgotten side yards or fenced-in equipment areas or poorly utilized parking lots. You get the idea. This applies to any forgotten or carelessly designed space. All outdoor spaces are places we exist in, live in, and they should be carefully considered as the buildings themselves. Is there a street or outdoor place that you really love? What are some of the things that you like about your street? Or for that matter, any favorite street that comes to your mind? This place you envision feels comfortable and safe. You're probably on foot, but you might be driving through in your car. This is a place that is so good that it can change your mood. How about the individual buildings and other built things about this place you love? What is it about them that compels you? Have you considered the street trees or that certain collection of cafes or other businesses that always draws your eye? Is it a collection of exceptional buildings that frame the experience? Are there a number of your favorite destinations all together in one place that you like to experience as a whole delightful environment? This special building, this uplifting neighborhood, should be something where nearly everything is just about right, giving you a constant source of joy and a sense of well-being. Why does this building or place feel so good? Is it beautiful? Is it a collection of things that just might seem to work well together? Does it accommodate you? Does it intrigue you? There are things that get me going when I make my way through my city or visit someplace else that intrigues me. When I started out in architecture school, I was in love with whatever particular project I was working on at the same time. To me, the surroundings seemed less important, needlessly complicating my work, an unnecessary burden on my design. And yet, I was still interested in what would draw someone to my design, imagining it as actually stood on a real structure on a real street. This was an awakening. The backdrop to my studies were the streets and spaces in the city where I studied, the city of New Orleans. a compact and characterful place. It's a place that adamantly imposes its character upon the designer or anyone. The trees, the buildings, the sounds, the smells, the culture and the food, and my goodness, the climate. As an architect in training, I could not separate my work from the rest of the project's surroundings. Not in that place, and soon not anywhere. Over time, I made my way as an architect. My designs became real buildings. I took what I had learned and began to look for how it felt. What we think of as context, once we see it and understand it, we therefore must embrace it, taking into account the greater whole, contemplating a realized work of architecture with its imperfect surroundings. Over time, these complications change the way you see cities. I think that some of the reasons we love our cities and respond to the special places we know actually comes right down to some practical things. Here are a few of these things that come to my mind that we intrinsically know that we should understand and embrace. The implementation of good outdoor rooms, great streets and plazas, parks, and the rest. The importance of procession, the process of seeing in the distance an interesting place, then traveling to, arriving, and then spying something else, processing to that, and then on to the next and next. The transition from public to private realms and why they're necessary and important. The notion that we should waste as little space as possible. Don't create a whole lot of leftover and forgotten places. Quality and substance are more important than many other design decisions. The inanimate can become alive. What makes cities good places to be in and live in is of great interest to me. You're probably here because you're interested too. So I'm making this channel. We'll look at a number of design and planning issues about cities from an architect's point of view. So check in for much more. Thanks for starting off with me here on The Crafted City.